All right. Welcome back to episode 16. We have a very special guest with us today. It is Carter Cruise is here with us today.
There is a middle name in there, and I think it starts with an M and ends in a me.
Mommy Cruise?
Carter and Cruise.
It's one of those.
And M is short for mother.
It's actually Carter motherfucking Cruise.
Yo, there we go.
Motherfucking.
See, we got it confused.
Yeah.
That's why. Yeah.
Shortening for motherfucking
I'll
is
take
mommy.
I'll take mommy.
The first girl we've had on, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, first.
Damn,
first
that
female
is some
guest.
sexist ass bullshit.
We've had some requests to have a female on the show because of some of the
We need
topics we've covered. So we're excited.
We
to have
honestly,
our
we
first
need your
female.
opinion on a lot of things. So
Oh,
it's gonna
I
be
got you.
We need
Whatever
your
you
help
want to know.
on a lot of shit.
Yeah. Clearly. Clearly. I'm the first.
Yeah.
And it'll be
First of all,
practice.
how to get girls on the show. We'll start there.
Me, I got you.
Yeah.
I got all the hookups. I know
Yeah.
all the girls.
All the ladies. So what's poppin', Carter? What you been up to?
Well, I've been having 2 weeks of health and relaxation.
Yeah, you got some time off.
Right, which I don't know how much has been fully health, but it hasn't been, jet lag and binge drinking every night. So we've been doing good.
You've been able to
good.
space it out a little better than usual. Yeah, that's
After
nice.
May, we had EDC, we had just traveling all the time, and I'm about to go on tour.
Yeah, tell us about that. We want to plug that.
Well, I don't even know what the fuck I'm doing, to be real and honest. I got booked as the DJ for a comedy tour.
Yeah, Bert
comedy
Kreischer's.
festival, Bert Kreischer's. And, but I have asked in probably 4 different emails, hey, can someone give me an idea of how long I'll be playing? Who, what you want me to play, just what's the vibe? I have no idea. I've never toured
With a comedian before.
Yeah.
and no one has told me anything. So,
So
we're
basically just a what the fuck is going on email.
right.
Yeah.
I did get added to the group chat recently, and I had everyone send me their requests. I don't have anyone's numbers, so I don't know who anyone is except for Bert. And I just got a bunch of requests, and let me tell you, they're the least DJ songs you'd ever, artists you'd ever think of. And I said, thank God, because tomorrow I'm just downloading all this stuff. But I have no idea.
That'll be kind of a play by ear type of thing. Mm-hmm. Quite literally.
Go with the flow.
Yeah.
That's really exciting that you're doing it for Bert Kreischer. Have you had any correspondence with him? Because I feel like for me, as much as I kind of like his comedy, I like him more as a person. He's so much just he seems like he would be such a cool hang.
I met him for the first time the other day, and he's
met him?
exactly what you would imagine.
Yeah?
I can't see
thank
that
God.
being a facade at all. He's really that guy.
No, he's 100%. We got to the bus. I was kind of fucked up because the bus wasn't there yet. So we went to my friend's birthday party before. I got way too drunk.
Classic.
Get to the bus, but it's nighttime. I'm thinking with my manager, I'm like, oh, we're just going to put my shit in the bus and then go. No, I'm not going to see anybody. As soon as he opens the door, I just hear Bert's who's that?
He's
I'm
right there.
Oh, God. Oh, God. I get on the bus, and so he's eating a full sushi dinner on the bus outside of his house.
With a keg next to him.
And so, but his kids were there, his 2 daughters.
He's eating in the bus outside of his own house.
Yes.
No, I'll take it in the bus. I'm not eating in the home.
You gotta get it. You gotta get
I
assimilated.
did ask why. Honestly, don't really remember. They did give a pretty good explanation. It was someone was at the house and they weren't trying to bother them. I don't know. There was a good explanation, but I was fucked up. So I was oh, fuck, I gotta it's my first impressions. I don't want to meet someone for the first time fucked up. And then he's oh, here are my daughters. And I'm ooh,
Oh, no.
anyone under 22 gives
Absolutely.
me instant anxiety.
Absolutely blacked out.
You should
Trying to
see me
introduce
meeting
yourself.
a fucking kid or something. It's just not good.
Yeah, they're
our
mature.
circle of friends doesn't do great with children. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
Well, you know what was a cool thing that I saw the Barstool interview with him, and he was talking about how Van Wilder was based on his life.
Right.
I don't know
Wait,
how.
really?
Yeah,
Yeah, you didn't know that?
So
No.
he sold the rights to his
story or
life
whatever.
story
His whole
to
last
them,
life.
and they made the movie. And they were trying to get him as the guy, and Hollywood was no, we're not.
Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah.
And when they end up
They
with
were like,
Ryan
look at
Reynolds,
him, we're not doing that.
we'll go with the hot dude, Ryan Reynolds. Yeah.
The whole bus though is all the comedians' faces plus mine.
On the
photoshopped
side?
it's the whole bus.
Oh, that's
it's just
legendary.
a red bus with everyone at a barbecue and Bert's body with our faces
That
on
is
it.
His shirt off. For
Yeah.
sure.
Who did that Photoshop job? Was that your idea?
No, I was just told to me, like, they were like, oh, we're putting you on the bus. I was like, okay, cool. I got the flyer and I was like, I bet this is what the bus looks like.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's a good Photoshop job. Better than I think I could do.
Yeah, no.
You've seen it?
Yeah, I've seen it.
So are you doing all the stops on that?
Yes, all of them.
And that's what, a couple month run?
No, it's only 2 weeks.
2 weeks. So you guys are just back to, because there's like 10 fucking shows.
He
right?
has a bunch of like different tours. This is like one specific one. Also there's a bunch of different comedians on it. Some people are just weekend 1 or weekend 2. And then there's some people that are only 1 or 2 nights, I assume, like based off their tour schedule. So it's a bunch of different people, which will be good for me because after 8 shows, I was like, oh God, like, am I going to be like, you've heard the same jokes 8 times?
Oh, yeah. Comedy's weird with like that, where it's like it's one of those things that it just never hits the second time you hear the joke.
Right. Well, I mean, even or if you really liked it, you're like when you show it to someone.
Yeah.
But like 4 nights in a row, you'd be like,
Yeah.
I mean, even DJs.
Yeah.
Like I did a bus tour with Adventure Club years ago, and like the last night, I was just not even at their set. I'm running around, and they were like, Carter, like we're really offended, like you didn't like watch any of our set. I'm like, bro, like I've been seeing you guys like for like 5 years since I was in college.
I've seen the Adventure Club set. I can only see Crave You so many fucking times.
Actually, I could probably see Crave You like
That
every
song
day.
specifically, I said the wrong song. That one I could hear it every day of my life.
Oh, I love their sets. I'm a big fan. But you know, after like we've been on the road a couple of days, I'm like, well, I'm just gonna run around and be in the green room and
chilling.
So yeah, I was wondering, is it the same with comedians? Like, will they be like upset if I like don't watch the whole set every night? Like, what if it's like night 8? You're just like,
You got to at least stay for Bert taking his shirt off, at least.
Oh.
Like, you got to stay
Doesn't
for
he
that
start the
part.
whole thing with the shirt on?
He always walks out with the shirt on, and then his like opener is take it off. And
yeah.
then
well, he
people-
said that
people get absolutely hyped.
he said he wants everyone in the audience to have their shirts off for this tour. On the
that's
podcast, I heard him say that.
I think I would be in on that.
Yeah.
But it was like, well, what about the girls? Like, are we like a lot of them are in the South and stuff? I'm like, is it cool to
In the
You know?
South, it is. For
I think
sure,
topless women is a thing in the South for sure.
really? Yeah, I'm like, I don't think so.
It's
Where
not
are
what
you
you-
guys from again?
I'm from San Diego. They're both from the Bay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
But-
we met in-
Little West Coast BBs. Yeah,
we've been
No,
friends.
it's not a thing in the South.
I've never been, so I actually don't know anything that I'm talking about.
You've never been to the South?
I've been to Florida. I've never been to like the proper
Yeah.
South, like Alabama or
Yeah,
something
the
like
Florida's
that.
not. Florida's a
Well, I've been to
different
Miami.
kind of
I've never been
deal.
to like this.
Florida's a different breed.
It's not really the South.
Yeah.
That's like LA in the South.
It's literally like
Yeah.
LA, like right on the beach
Right.
in Florida. Yeah.
You guys got to go to Charleston.
Yeah, is that you're from North Carolina, right?
Yeah, that's in South Carolina,
Carolina. Go
but
together,
there's a club
Charleston.
there.
Close.
Like,
That's how much I know about
Remind me after this podcast. I'll like
You'll give
link
us a
you with this
rundown?
with the
Couple
there's this
barbecue
club
spots.
and there's a club in Charleston. I feel like you guys like should play there. It'll be like
Oh,
it's
fuck
so
yeah.
fun.
You got the
Yeah.
plug.
Yeah, it's on the
Yeah,
list. Wait, so it's not your first tour then, but what's your craziest tour story or show story?
Oh God, this is what's gonna get cut.
All right, so
The best part is it's definitely not.
it's cute that you think we'll cut it though.
I'm trying. Well, I'm gonna let me just think about how to
Yeah.
say this without putting anyone on the spot.
Yeah.
Well, I was on a bus tour. Oh God, I'm trying.
Trying to cliff note it.
But so the last night, we crowd surfed into the crowd during the headliner set. And so I was like the super opener. Like no one cared about me. I played when people are getting there, but I had the greatest time. Because at the time I was playing really heavy bass music. And so it was the first time I didn't have to play super heavy. And even though that's why I got into DJing, it kind of like expanded my horizons. So, you know, now I can kind of do everything and I'm all over the place. And now when people ask me to play super heavy, I'm like, oh, it's been so long, you know?
I don't know if I still have this in me.
But at the time, that's all I was doing. So I was like kind of doing the jams, you know, still bass music. And we all jump into the crowd. And it was all guys on the tour. So they all got let down like really early in the crowd because they're way heavier than me. And I just get carried all the way to the back of the venue, right? I'm just, the crowd ends and they set me down. They're like, hey. And I'm like, hi. And actually, you know who let me down back there? I don't know if you guys are familiar with him, but Recno.
Yeah.
So, but back then, he was
Did
just...
you send you the
he
Four
was-
Loko care package?
Yes. He said
Which we are currently drinking.
Which
Thank you,
we are
Recno.
currently consuming. But you should check out his music. He's fire. Yeah, he let me down in the back of this venue. And at the time, he was just like a little raver kid making some mixes on SoundCloud. Like now he's had collabs with all these like dope people. But that's how we met. And I'm talking with them. They buy me a shot. I run back. And that's the last thing I remember. I remember running from the back of the venue back to the green room. I'm like, that's it. Next day, I wake up in a bunk. I'm like, what the fuck happened? I have a t-shirt on, like no pants. I'm just
Yes.
And
The amount of times I've woken up in a t-shirt and no pants.
My house.
Mine sounds like a regular Wednesday for
In
me.
a bed with one of my friends.
In the bed with my fucking best
Yeah, I
male
wake
friend.
up next to Morgan G with no pants and a t-shirt.
What happened last night,
Or
boys?
is this my shirt or your shirt, Pat?
Isn't that funny too? Like how guys feel so weird about sleeping in beds with each other. I mean, obviously not when you're fucked up.
Oh, no, we don't.
You
This
don't?
group
Okay,
of friends
good.
doesn't
Like
feel
that's
that way.
progressive. I love that.
We do it sober.
Okay, good. Like you should, because I always think it's so funny because girls will just like, oh, you want to come to my house? Yeah, you can sleep in the bed with me. Guys are like, okay, so I have a king size bed, but it'd make me feel better if you slept on the couch.
Yeah.
One of my favorites of that is there's a comedian who does a joke about that, and he's talking around and he's like, I got a hotel room. It was supposed to be 2 beds. It ended up only being 1. And I'm in there with my friend, and he's like, okay, here's what we need to do. We need to put a pillow.
Was this Mark Norman?
I think it's Andrew Schultz who does it.
Oh, yeah.
And he's like, what we'll do, we'll put the pillows in between us, and we'll make a wall between us. He's like, you know what you could just do is not fuck me in the middle of the night.
He's like, do you need some sort of barrier to not fuck me in my
He's
sleep?
like, are you gonna fuck me? No, like unless there's a wall there.
Do I need to
I
put
guess
you
I-
in a cage?
I kind of get it because like you guys get like morning wood and stuff, right? So
Especially
it's like,
when we all sleep together. Yeah.
right. I mean,
Yeah.
not that like it's like it could have nothing to do with that. You're having like this hot dream, and then you wake up and you realize you're like full on spooning your bro, and your dick's hard right on his ass. Like I get like you have to worry about that. Like
Well,
you
the
know.
thing is though, the dream was about my boy, so it's not weird.
The worst part is just now he knows it was about you.
What were you dreaming about, brother?
You wouldn't have known if it wasn't for me saying his name in my sleep.
It's a shared dream.
He incepted the fuck out of me into fucking him in my
It's a shared dream.
You did this to me. This isn't on me.
I know what you're up to.
Yeah, you're like, you got the boner first. I know it.
Where were
Okay,
we?
so when I'm running
No
back to
pants
the
and a t-shirt.
when I wake up, and so everyone's still asleep on the bus, and I don't have my phone. So obviously it's dark as fuck. I don't know. You guys been on a bus tour?
It's
Like bunk
a black
row is,
hole. Yeah.
It's so cold and so dark. I have no pants on. I don't have my phone. It's just pitch black in there. Everyone's passed out, dead silent in there. It's like I gotta get the fuck out of here. Roll out. I'm like, oh, go find my phone. So we usually hung out in like the back room of the tour bus. And so I go through that door first. I open the door, and this had been a hangout spot for the whole tour. Like there wasn't really anything in it. But when I open it, there's like suitcases everywhere. Everyone's shit is in this room. I've no idea why.
Suitcase full of shit.
And it just smells like fucking, there's like broken glass from like some shit on the window, like on the ground. I'm like, oh, this is not good.
What happened?
And it smells like fucking piss in there.
Piss and shit story.
What's
And
new?
so I'm like,
here we
my
go.
phone must be in here because this is where like. So I'm like looking around, but there's so much stuff everywhere. It's really hard to like find. And I look down on the ground. I'm like, dude, why does it smell like piss? I look down and there's like a bunch of hair on the ground. I'm like, what the fuck is this? Pull it up. It's some girl's like her weave, her fucking extensions is just on the ground with everyone's shit just soaked in piss. And I'm like, I'm not even gonna hazard a guess of what happened here. I'm like, I pick it up, I'm like, oh my God. Put
Honestly,
it away.
Balls on you for picking it up at all.
Well, I was just curious, you know what I
Like,
mean?
hold on, what is it?
That's
That's a weed.
If it
That's
looks
a
like
piss
smooth
weave.
piss,
That's
smells
for
like
sure
piss, it tastes like-
I was like, damn, we need to be more hydrated on this tour because
That smells toxic.
That's good stuff.
So I go sit in the front of the bus for a while I wait for everyone to wake up. Still can't find my phone. No idea where it is. I'm just like, what the fuck? I'm just sitting in the front of the bus. Everyone starts to wake up. They're like, okay, we get into like, I think we're in Kansas City. like, oh, let's go get barbecue, which, by the way, best barbecue I've ever had.
Really? You're putting Kansas City at the top?
Kansas City,
I feel
I'm
like that's
like,
not-
they
No,
got,
it's not a
not a crazy-
pocket statement.
they do
though.
I think they do like the mustard-based sauce.
Yeah,
I don't know.
it's a little more like sour.
Yeah, and I love all barbecue. Don't get me wrong, but it is like it's my favorite. It's something you don't get as often, so I think it's more special. Go there, get some barbecue, and so everyone's telling me like, you know, we're trying to piece together the night, and we find out that basically one of the guys had brought back a girl from the tour, from the show the night before. She's a groupie, and he'd brought her on the bus, and that's how things had gotten crazy. So
likes
some
to
people
pee.
remembered more than me, but like no one fully remembered. So we're trying to piece it together.
Puzzle piece.
It's a 10,000-piece puzzle.
Yeah, and so I'm like,
And you only
wait.
have 6 of them.
Yeah. I'm like, wait, is that girl still on the bus? Because that guy who brought her back, he wasn't getting barbecue with us. He was still passed out. So I'm like, wait, is that girl still on the bus? And they're like, yeah. I mean, we literally drove her from like, it was like a 13-hour drive that this girl, like, and so
Imagine waking up in a different state.
So her best friend, this is like some real friend shit. I told all my friends, I will never do this for you, so don't even think about it.
Don't even get me fucking idea.
She like really wanted to hook up with this guy, so her friend drove behind the tour bus for 13 hours to make sure like she could get her after we like parked, because obviously he would fly her home.
Oh my
Question.
God.
Was this friend a guy friend?
Oh, shit.
Because
No,
if
it was a girl. I think.
Okay.
I
When
never
say friend, I
personally.
meant it's her boyfriend.
well, because if it was
He
a
was
guy,
livid.
he's the most down baddest I've heard in a while.
Yeah, I know.
That's down bad of the week.
Oh, the
Yeah, I
most
know.
It was a
friend zone
girl?
you could
Yeah,
ever
it was a
be.
girl. As far as
Okay.
I know, but I mean, I guess I saw the one girl, but like I was blacked out, so I don't remember.
We're gonna operate.
I have
under
no
the
memory.
assumption it was a girl, because that guy would be. Oh my God.
All I
down
know
bad.
is that there was a brunette girl, because that's what color her extensions that were soaked in piss were.
piss
That's
ones?
yeah.
The
So we
piss
like
smelled
get
like brunette, so I knew.
we get back to the bus, and I'm like, oh my God, is she still there? Because then I feel bad because I'm the only girl on this bus, so I'm thinking like, oh, I should like make her feel comfortable. You know, like I'd feel so weird if that was me.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, oh, I gotta like make sure this girl's good. Like, oh, these are all nice guys. Like nothing bad. You know, everyone's gonna fly her back. Everything's good. But I'm like, I need to make her feel comfortable. Like,
As
hey,
the
there's
only
another
other
girl
girl
here.
there,
Yeah,
yeah.
there's a woman here. Like, I got you. Like, what do you need? So I get back to the bus, and we're like, we look everywhere. Like, where the she's not here. And as I'm walking through Bunk Alley, the guy rolls out of his bottom bunk, and he grabs my ankle, and he looks up at me. I've never seen anyone's face like that. He's like, Carter, I had the worst dream. I had a dream that I brought a girl all the way here from the last show, and I was like,
That was real.
that
wasn't a
happened.
dream.
It did happen.
The nightmare ended when you fell asleep. Actually,
He's like,
I
I've
was
been
like,
in
where
a
the fuck
nightmare
is
for-
she? It's like, where is she? Like, what did you do to her? And he's like, I thought it was a dream.
I had a dream I killed a girl and the two of us.
When it's not a dream.
So she was gone. Her friend had literally, I think as soon as we left to get barbecue, she snuck out and just jumped in the front of their car and drove back. Like that is a good groupie. She was like, I just want to fuck. I'm out. No problem. She didn't even, I would have been like, buy me a flight.
I'll tell you what, as a man, okay, I don't think I could get a girl to take a 30-minute Uber back to my place, let alone a 13-hour bus
A
ride.
26-hour travel total time.
Yeah. We're talking across state lines type of ride. Like, could you imagine
You'll be
that?
lucky to get a girl home from the bar and you live next door.
Could you imagine the type of game you'd have to like, you're like, hey, what do you say we go back to my place? And she's like, where is it? And you're like, it's a state across.
states
Like,
over.
it'll be quick. It's
Not
really
even a
easy.
different area code, a different whole ass state.
Yeah.
I think she came there though with the full intention of I am going to fuck this man.
She was on a mission.
See, that's
She was on a
something I never
mission.
experienced either.
We'll
so.
off the record have to find out who this is about, because he must have some fucking BDE.
Okay.
I mean, you guys might almost be there. You
Think
know,
we're at that level?
almost, not
They-
quite. I mean, you gotta keep it going for like another 5 years. You know,
Yeah.
but
My number one goal from now on is to get a girl to drive with me for 13 hours.
Yeah.
we have to
No, 14.
We have to break the
We have
record.
to, we have to go. We have
You
to
have
one
to
up
push it,
14
yes.
hours.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a quick break because we have a jingle of sorts.
A jingle of sorts for you. And a 1, and a 2, and a 1, 2, 3.
Cause Manscaped is a little place where we can shave our ball sack. Ball sack, baby. Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Manscaped, you're going to have to up the offer, boys.
But yeah, so support for the No FOMO podcast is brought to you by Manscaped, who is the best in men's below-the-waist grooming. Their products are precision-engineered tools for your family jewels. And Manscaped's Performance Package is the ultimate men's hygiene bundle. Join over 4 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped with this exclusive offer for you. 20% off and free shipping worldwide with the code NOFOMO.
NOFOMO is the code.
So use that code NOFOMO at manscaped.com for 20% off and free shipping. Now back to the show.
Okay. I'm switching the game up.
You're changing the game?
I'm switching the game.
Okay.
This one is specifically for you.
Oh, geez.
I am going to give you a description of a person. The original number rating that I'm giving them is
Wait. Start over.
It's the rating game. Have you seen this on TikTok?
Have you seen this on TikTok?
So I'm really bad with
Just give it a
TikTok.
rundown.
That's okay.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna give
Treat
you.
me like I'm
gonna
old.
give you their looks rating 1 out of 10 in a number. But then I'm gonna give you a personal quality about them,
Okay.
and then you have to give me what their actual rating is after that
So it's
quality.
either going to be a plus or minus what the original score is.
Okay.
So
like,
it's there
there's
at
a
10, but
So someone's a 10, but their personality's a 1.
but they
so.
pissed the bed.
Yeah.
So what are they now?
Oh, you're gonna give a quality.
Yes.
But only one quality?
Yeah.
I feel like that seems
so-
very like you could say the worst quality about them or the best quality about them. That's like
Yeah, that's exactly
It's exactly what it
That's
is.
exactly what it is. That's going to be their worst or best
So
quality.
No, I'm gonna be like rating people off their worst
They're
or best
not real
qualities.
people, though, so don't worry.
yeah,
Yeah,
these are-
hypothetical people. Maybe.
Oh, they're totally made up.
Maybe.
Maybe.
So-
Some of them are hypothetical.
So this
Like
first
based
one.
off your friends, you're like, these are not any resemblance to real people is entirely fiction.
Let's just operate under the assumption they're not real.
So here's the first one. He's a 9 out of 10, looks wise,
Okay.
but he always has to wear Hulk hands.
Like costume hands from like Amazon.
The Hulk,
Like they,
Right.
Like, you know,
they go Hulk smash.
Wait, he says that or he just wears the
he
hands?
wears them.
He also says
probably
it.
does say the tagline.
Okay, because I was
every
gonna say that's a huge difference. Just wearing the gloves, he might have a hand condition. He thought they were more, fashionable than like some leather gloves.
No, they're like a
but
safety
saying it is like, so we're saying he says it.
Let's say
Yes,
he says it.
let's say he
yeah.
says
Okay,
it.
okay, okay.
And he also wears them while he says it.
So your job is to give him a new
Rating.
1 out of 10
Okay,
based off
well,
that fact.
okay, not to put a wrench in your guys' thing, but I feel like this is kind of like a man rating system. Because you're just are saying, are they fuckable or not? That's kind of what.
No,
whereas like I could be like, all right, but maybe like he's a 9 out of 10, does Hulk hands. That's like a one-time fuck. So that's, but then he might be a 10 for the one-time fuck.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
then he's
well,
a
he's
1
wearing
after
the
that.
And he's wearing the Hulk hands.
You know what? Hulk was smashing.
Yeah, right?
I'll say this: you take this game however you want.
Yeah, you can interpret it however
Well, I know
you
that's,
want.
but I gotta
So his-
explain it so that people
You're
understand
explaining
my
our
thought
system is
process.
different.
So his looks
Right.
are a 9 out of 10.
Yeah, he
So
he
he's
looks
to me, he's still a 9 out of 10. That's still a one-time fuck.
You
But like
still Hulk
after
smash.
the,
You
You
after
get over the Hulk hands.
right,
Okay.
yeah, I feel like yeah.
Okay.
He becomes a 1 out of 10.
For the right,
Anything beyond the 1 fuck, he'd be a 1 out of 10.
really?
If he,
Well,
But I
that's
mean,
what-
no,
that's your choice.
what a 1 out of 10 would be like someone you'd never fuck.
Okay.
If someone's a 9 out of 10, like you'll put up with a lot. Even you guys, think about it. You
like
put up
this.
with a lot of crazy shit from someone.
Yeah.
You'd be like, okay, this is absolutely insane. I'm very uncomfortable, but this girl's so fucking
Just
hot.
one time.
I'm gonna do it.
Yeah, if she's
so
wearing
I
Hulk
can't
hands.
give them a lower rating because you still did it,
That's
right?
fair.
That's
fair.
Okay.
Okay, let's
I
take
just make it too
then.
complicated.
Let's take.
No,
Let's.
I love it.
No, I like that. I like that.
I like your angle on it.
I like that a lot. Let's take it as a second date rating, then.
Okay. So
So he's
how,
a 9 out of 10. He wears Hulk hands. He says Hulk
You put up with it
smash.
for the one time.
Okay.
But then after that, you tell your friends about it. You're like, hey, I hooked up with this guy. He wears Hulk hands. He was hot, but
I think that's like a 2.
okay.
There we go.
Yeah.
Wait, can I just
okay.
do a quick side note? So I put my hand down on the couch just randomly because I'm fucked up.
And you said Hulk smash.
And there's of course like I could not make this
That's probably
shit up.
from last night. Last night when we finished up dinner, we like watched a movie and it was a mess in here. And I was like, hey, before everyone goes to bed, can we all pick up like one cup?
One beer each, yeah.
Some guys just like stuff the cat down
in the
there.
morning.
Just goes, I'm putting the whole Kool-Aid
I
bottle.
wish there's more down here.
There's probably a full bottle under the seat right here.
Yeah, I wouldn't look too deeply in there.
Are you ready for the next one?
Round 2.
I vacuumed the top of the couch, but I don't know what's down in the crevices.
Yeah, we're not.
Ready for the
At
next
least
here?
one course cap.
Hands aren't meant to be in the crevice, that's for sure.
Okay, this next one. He's an 8, but when he dirty talks in bed, he uses the Gollum voice from Lord of the Rings.
It's kind of hot.
So my precious.
My precious.
So his rating might even go up on this.
Okay, wait.
He calls
He's
you
like,
pussy
he's in
my
there,
precious.
and you're like, hey, do some dirty talk. And
I feel
he's
like you
like,
guys are leaving it like a massive rating scale, though. Like looks, weird things that they do, but also like dick.
Okay.
Like, so
Oh,
we're
you're
talking
throwing
about
dick? I can easily
That's-
throw in a dick rating in there.
Does he have
we
his
need
that
a dick
Gollum
rating
dick?
in there.
Okay, he's an
Because
8.
that changes everything.
I got it.
He's got the
Easily.
Gollum dick.
He's an 8
You'll
out of 10.
you'll put up with a little bit for like someone being hot, but you'll put up with a lot more
Okay,
for the dick
I like
being
that.
really
Fucking
good.
pipe.
I like
Yeah.
that. Okay. So he's an 8 out of 10. He
Okay.
has a 7 out of 10 dick. But you're like, hey, I need a little dirty talk. And he's like, okay. And he goes, I'm going to dick you down, my precious.
I think it's gonna take him down to like a 5, 6,
Okay.
possibly.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
This is how the game is.
Yeah,
But
I like
if
that.
the
We
dick
figured out-
rating was 2, it'd be like 1.
We
Like,
figured
we're
out the
out.
ground.
Yeah.
Okay.
When he's got that Shire cock, it
Yeah,
really
if
goes
his
up.
dick looked like a Gollum dick, now we're talking a 0.
Hey, Gollum.
Guilty
hung.
as charged.
I don't know. Have you seen Gollum's dick?
He's hung.
He's hungry and
He's hung.
shit.
Yeah.
All
It's
right.
making me hungry, honestly.
These next 3.
What?
And that's where we cut.
That's staying in for sure.
That's staying in for sure.
That's staying in.
For these next 3, you don't have to give a rating. You just have to pick one of them.
Okay.
It does not include dick rating.
Panic. Okay.
So just give them, let's say they're all 5 out of 10 dick rating.
They're all 5
Just
out of 10.
for
Like a
fairness.
medium.
Pass.
Just
on
for
all.
No, what's your baseline? A 7? Let's give him an all.
Okay, all 7.
Average dick rate.
7.5.
Okay.
7.5.
This next one, he's an 8, but he has bleached tips for his hair.
8.
8
Okay.
remains an 8.
Yeah, I like the bleach tips.
He's an 8.
Makes me think of being in middle school.
He's
Your
an
first
8
crush.
He's an 8.5, but he weighs 115 pounds.
8.
Okay.
I'm about the same.
He's
so.
a.
Yeah.
I
He's a.
prefer someone who's a little bigger, but I can be cool
can-
with someone
you
who's the
can
same
handle
size.
it. You'll work with it.
Yeah.
You'll work with it, yeah.
Yeah.
He's a 5, but he's funny and he calls you mommy.
1.
All right. Now, now you have to
Okay,
pick.
so now the
Now you have to
reveal
pick.
is those were all us.
He's 1, I was 2, and he's 3.
I was the boss.
Look it up, bleach these.
Let's go!
Hey, I'm not surprised.
Let's go, dude.
Wait. What was call it mommy and
He's funny, but he
Oh,
calls you mommy.
Yeah, I think it's the mommy thing that just like really
I'm not into that shit.
Okay,
Which
you
I'm
know
like-
what? That's fine. I'm looking
as
for
a,
a
as
mommy.
a like if it's like a a fan at a show putting up with a thing on their head like mommy.
Oh, I have that on
cute,
my phone right now.
cute,
You got it from
cute.
me?
I have it on. I
But
have it on my
like
phone
in
right now.
bed, I think I would like.
Well, okay.
Jay.
I love that you took it in bed, but it was more like a cute, like mommy.
No.
mommy,
like it was
baby
like-
needs
No,
milky.
he calls you mommy all the
Baby
time.
needs
But
milky.
I like to, but I like to be baby. I like to be baby, and I like man to be
Okay,
daddy.
okay.
That's why I date men. Like otherwise, I would just like only
Yeah.
date girls.
Or babies.
But I like to be baby daddy situation.
Baby daddy situation.
Look,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
not
yeah.
surprised by the rating. She said if I took out the mommy, I'm above you.
But that was.
I think you were the
But-
same.
so
You're all
here's-
the same.
Well, you were the only one who said you're funny. I think we're all funny. So
That's fair. That's also
you
fair.
left funny out of ours for some
I was
reason.
also the only one that took myself
Yeah.
down all the way to a 5. but-
Right. He compromised.
That is
he
it.
did.
He still takes some points off the
That's fair.
hotness. I'll give myself some extra funny points.
That's fair. I think we all ended up around the same spot.
That's a great transition to my next question because since you are a female guest, I wanted to get some advice from you.
okay.
Since I am newly single, I'm back in the game. I wanted to get a little advice on dating apps. My
Okay.
opener 100% of the time is I say mommy with an exclamation point as my only opener. Do you think that that's good or bad as far as, because I think the success rate is pretty good.
I could see the success rate being pretty good, but I think it's more about the psychology behind that leads to like long-term failure. So it depends what you're looking for.
A quick smash.
Yeah. Well then, do you, whatever's working for you, you know?
Okay. I appreciate that and I needed that.
I don't think you call your girlfriend mommy, but if you're banging a chick one time.
He calls my mom
I think it's
mommy,
more
though.
that like, okay, so.
Can you break down the mommy dynamic for us?
Okay. Yes. Okay.
So the mommy movement is huge.
Yes.
Yeah, and we're at the forefront of it, clearly.
Well, I feel like, okay, so I read this book. Do you guys know the Satanic Bible? Anton LaVey.
Break that shit down.
You guys don't know? Oh my God.
like my
okay.
fucking new
So
religion.
Anton LaVey, he wrote the Satanic Bible, but he also wrote this other book, which I bought years ago. And it's a book that's basically written by a man, and it's very outdated.
It's called Hail Satan.
It's the Satanic Witch's Handbook, and it is a book on how to manipulate men as a woman, as written by a man. So I thought that's fascinating. I have to read that.
That's a cool book.
And I just bought it out of like curiosity. But I actually came to a lot of realizations during that because I'm a very dominant type person. I'm like, say what I want. And so I realized from this book that women like me, we tend to go for these very dominant type men, but he explains personality based off a clock. So the top half of the clock is very dominant. The bottom half is more feminine, submissive. So wherever you fall on the clock in your outward personality, that means that your inward, your demonic personality is the exact opposite. Really? So the way that you learn to manipulate people is by whatever they portray themselves to be, inwardly they are unfulfilled in these other
So like
areas.
treat them like the exact opposite of how they portray themselves.
Well, we fulfill those needs, right? So I would always go for very super dominant type, like hyper masculine men because I'm a more masculine woman. So I wanted someone more masculine than me. But then I realized that those men inwardly, deep down, they want a mommy. And I don't want to be a mommy. But I think that because you're
put me on the clock?
but I-
6 in the very bottom.
but I think because you're leading with it, that means something different. That means that you're like, oh, like I want the mommy, but like you're actually
You need
probably
daddy.
like a firecracker in bed.
You actually really need daddy.
Ooh, I wish we were wrong here, folks.
So I think
like,
you're
"You fucking
I
nailed
think
it."
you leading with it is actually a good thing because it
Okay.
means that you're comfortable being that kind of like, vulnerable. Oh, like mommy, you're making a joke out of it. So it's
Yes.
probably a good thing. It's the
Okay.
guys that would hide it and be like, I'm super masculine.
Yeah.
But I think I just have trauma
Yeah.
from dating these hyper masculine men who ultimately deep down wanted me to be their mommy. So that really turns me off. But I think
when you finally get them into bed, they're like, hey, give me head scratchies. I need
It's I don't think it's necessarily just in bed. People fulfill it in different ways. You know, it might be like, you just like want someone like it doesn't have to be in bed. Like you can fulfill your demonic personality in so many different ways. Playing an instrument, like your work. Like there's a million different ways you can fulfill it, but most people aren't fulfilled.
Capri Suns as a snack.
And
Yes.
you play the penis flute.
But that might be that's actually your outward personality.
Yes.
So your demonic personality is that you're actually fucking daddy and you're gonna fucking yeah.
The script just flipped.
You shouldn't have given him all that.
Okay. Well, you jumped a little too soon because my next question that I had to ask you is, so my go-to. I'm sure this is a debatable topic. My go-to hookup movie, like when you bring a girl back to your house, they're on a movie. I like to put on Shrek. Shrek 1, like Donkey Get Out of My Swamp. It just gets me in the mood.
Get out of his swamp, yes.
Is that a weird pick, or would that be something like you were like, okay?
I think that'd be very popular with a lot of people.
It's also a movie everyone's like seen enough times where like when you start,
Yeah, you put it on.
like I'm not watching this intently.
Right.
Yeah, it's that or Finding Nemo.
The only time I've gotten in trouble, doing that is I brought a girl back to my house and I put it on, and it was already halfway through. And she was like, "Why is it already halfway through?" And I was like, "I don't know. I haven't seen it in a long time." I don't know.
Really well,
she's
because
like,
they only
"Oh,
got
it
halfway
seems
through before I
suspicious."
fucked the other girl.
Well, I can tell you this.
That was less than 24 hours.
I've seen the first 15 minutes of Shrek a lot. I haven't seen the last.
Okay, well at that point, like that's
But you picked it right back up at 15 minutes and 30 seconds.
Oh yeah.
So maybe if I get through
That
the
middle minute
first
I'm
15, maybe I'll watch the whole
Right
thing.
when he's fighting
Yeah.
the dragon, I don't know what happens, but
Yeah.
the rest of it, it's all good.
We never really get to when he saves the princess.
He's saving her in the bed.
We never
So
really
you're
get
pulling a
there.
Netflix and chill kind of vibe. Honestly, you could get a little more creative. It's kind of I will say like not a weird pick, but weird that you would repeat it multiple days in a row because that means that the entire 50 minutes. Because if you were actually watching it, you'd be like, "This is so fucking boring." But you're sitting there going like, "Okay, like when is she gonna touch my dick? When is she gonna touch my dick? When is she gonna touch my dick?"
Or when is he going to whip out his dick?
Yeah,
When
or
is-
that.
Yeah, you're giving me a lot of credit here. It's more like when is he going to take off his pants?
I think that's giving you way more credit.
Yeah,
When
yeah.
is daddy
A woman is way more likely to have sex with you than a man.
Fuck. Oh my god. I am sweating.
That's the first time I've ever heard that. It feels
Okay, so this is huge. We did a breakdown. We did our opinion on this last week, but
Okay.
which one of us do you think has the smallest dick energy?
This is purely based off energy, not like size or anything. Like,
Energy.
No shit. It's
I'm
not
the
based
small-
off of actual
no, I'm saying
size.
I'm the smallest
Honestly,
guy
I
in
feel
the
like,
room.
and I'm not trying to gas you guys up here. Like,
No, please, guys.
please do not want to gas. But like, I don't think any of you guys have small dick energy. Like, you could have like really.
Well, hold on. Hold on. Slow down here because you're
Like
wrong.
you like, I mean, you might have a small dick, but small dick energy is a totally different thing.
It's totally different.
Because the
But-
weirdest thing is
huge.
the biggest guy in the room has the smallest dick.
Well, yeah, I mean,
Absolutely not.
I mean, you guys like cats. What we were talking about earlier, the comfortability with, I don't know, the sleeping with your bros in the bed. That's kind of big dick energy.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
like we-
going
Because
along-
you're not like constantly questioning
Self-conscious
your
about
own like. It's weird to like constantly question your own sexuality unless you're like 15 years old.
That's true.
So you guys are really cool. You're like, I'll sleep next to my bro. I like cats. Like whatever.
And I love my
Going,
bros.
going
Had
along,
a few too many women on your podcast, but it's okay.
going along with that one. I mean, it's the movement right now. Who do you think has the most stepbro energy?
Step bro. Like Will Ferrell.
Whatever that
Yeah.
means to you.
Whatever it means.
Yeah, however you want to take it.
Is that like a thing that's like from TikTok that I'm supposed to know what it means?
I mean,
Because it doesn't mean anything to me except for the movie Step Brothers.
You don't know about stepbro energy?
No. Fill me in. Please educate me. I'm ready to learn.
after you, sir.
Who's gonna take the lead on this?
I can do it. I can do it. Okay. We fully understand that you don't understand this. It's
As a man,
a
let me explain to you.
a big movement in the industry right now.
Which industry?
Guys love to watch
the
step sis
hubist
porn.
industry of hubs.
The
is
hub
the
industry.
step bro category.
Well, it's step sis. category.
Step bro, step sis.
Oh yeah, and you mean in the adult industry?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah,
yes.
yeah. Industry, yeah.
So that it's taken it by
You're
storm.
like, just spit it out, God damn it.
It's taken it by storm, and
Music industry, like what are we talking about here?
The machining industry, the auto industry.
so yeah, we were just curious who had the most like step bro. What are you
Well-
doing? Energy.
Oh, step bro, what are you doing? Energy.
Yeah, it's probably in the same line
Yeah,
as the last question.
Yeah.
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 No, you guys kind of all have the same vibe. I mean, different. You're all different.
Yeah.
I'm
You don't
not
have
trying
lie
to,
us. We're all pretty
No.
similar. Everyone
Honestly-
actually thinks we're the same
Yeah,
person.
the
Every
most commented thing we get on all of our social media is this actually just three dudes in different outfits or the same dude,
One dude in three different
outfits.
outfits.
talking to
Yeah.
himself.
Well, especially with the glasses, you could get away with
yeah,
that.
you can't really tell.
Yeah.
And then like, he's got the hat. Everyone's just kind of
We really don't know
Yeah,
how
you're
to.
covering up
yeah.
your tips. You're
basically
like,
everyone's
Yeah.
just calling us basic.
you
ass
guys
white
both
dudes.
got. Oh my god, I'm even questioning that right now.
And I see all three of you in front of me.
It's
You're
like-
like, yeah, we do hats, we do
0.15 is
glasses.
coming
Yeah,
in.
now we get why. It's just.
Okay, let's just go with who's your female and male DJ crush?
I don't think I have a male. I don't think I have a male DJ crush. So I think you're.
Not
they
even
were
Diplo?
so hoping that you said them.
It couldn't.
We don't want to get into that. It's not the Vibe Air podcast, but
The
no.
stipulation was it couldn't
Pump
be
the brakes,
yes.
motherfucker.
And no. Well, I always one of my best friends is an amazing DJ, And I always like tell everyone she's my favorite DJ because she really is. I really do love her like whole vibe she does. But I always tell her that, and I think she didn't believe me that it was just like a friend gassing you up type thing. And then she like played a few places, and they're like, "Oh, Carter said that you're my favorite. You're her favorite DJ." She's like, "Oh my god, you really tell people that?" I'm like, "Yeah, like bitch, like that's why you're one of my best fucking friends. Like you're high, you're a good fucking DJ." But it's Penny Wild. You guys probably don't know her, but
I've heard the name.
But if we want to talk about, you know, I don't know, Cruella. That's just like an old school.
Oh yeah,
you
That's
know?
a good one.
And I say old school like they're old, but they're like the same age as me. But
yeah, they just
but they've been way bigger before I was nobody.
We're all the same age here. That's yeah. We're all old.
I think Yaz might actually be younger than me, which is crazy. But I've just been a fan of her since I was in college.
Yeah, they've been around like that when we first got into EDM. They were like top of the top.
Who else? I don't know. You guys, I need to like, you guys tell me yours. I don't want to be put on the spot. You guys share
ours?
yours and then I'll share.
I'd fuck the shit out of Calvin Harris.
For sure.
Yeah,
Really?
I'd let him
I
bust
feel
that
like
shit down.
Skrillex could put down that hard shit.
Yeah, but I don't know. I feel like we both have.
You think
big
Skrillex is
energy.
freaky?
I
or
think
do you think he's fake edgy? You know, people are like,
Ooh,
No, he's
interesting
definitely not.
take.
He used to be in an emo band. He's not fake.
Yeah, he's not.
Not-
I feel like at this point,
not
I don't think
fake.
he's as edgy as we want him to be.
right?
I don't want him to be edgy. I want
Like-
him to be cool.
Is he
Are we
want
talking
to like
about? Are we
suck out
talking
of your
about edgy
butthole?
purely
I
off the
don't know.
side,
Ooh,
the side
see,
shaved?
That's a different angle.
Purely off what?
Are we talking about edgy as like purely off the side shave that he's rocking, or?
No, we're talking about like, you know,
Him as a person.
we're talking about crush. So we're talking about like
Do
sexually,
you think
like,
he'd
are
spit
they
in the mouth and
edgy?
shit?
I
Yeah.
mean, the problem for me is I don't.
He doesn't spit in the mouth. I don't want him.
Yeah, you guys are all
I'm beyond
DJs.
that.
I don't know anything about
I'm
any
mature enough to be
DJs.
able to loogie into the mouth.
You think that
Just a hot
until it happens at the right time.
A Skrillex. A Skrillex, dude.
He's famous for that.
I don't know. This probably is not appropriate for the podcast, but just
Oh,
side
there's no
thing.
rules.
I was doing this reverse gangbang when I was in porn. So, you know, it's like, you know, a bunch of girls with one guy.
Oh wow, I didn't know that was. a
And so
thing.
you have to like occupy yourself a lot because there's only one penis. So you gotta let it do it, you know, occupy yourself.
find ways to fill your time.
And you know, I'm into pretty much anything. I'm pretty much down with whatever. Like whether I'm like super into it or not, if someone else is really into it, I'm like I can just like I go with the flow. I'm down. And this girl I always liked spit so much, and I think this single-handedly turned me off so much. She like spit in my mouth, but like I feel like it'd been a long day. Like I've probably been smoking cigs and shit. Yo, the spit was like yellow. And it was crazy because I was dead sober too. Like, you know, I didn't really get fucked like this. Like, this is if I'd been a little fucked up, I'd have been like, fuck it. But like, I was dead sober, and I was like, I saw it going into my mouth, but like, the camera's on you. Like, what are you gonna do? You're
You can't.
and I was like, that is gross. I don't want that in my mouth. But I was like, all right, whatever. And we just,
You
And
spit
I
it back.
spit it back.
well, that's it. Oh my God. Really?
Wait, did I guess it?
Yeah, that's exactly what I did because I had it in my mouth and I thought, there's
This is
no
not
way in
getting
hell
swallowed.
I'm going to swallow this. And so I just grabbed her face and I was like, smeared it on her face. Everyone's like, it's so hot. And I was like,
it was either I was gonna throw it up or it's going right back at
right.
you.
It was either puke or it was re-spit back. But I think ever since then I've been like really weird about spit. Like not like I'm not into it, but
was
like
kind of a scarring
I'm always like, hey, like hey babe,
mind
like
if I check
you
out your-
hydrated? You
Mind if I check out your
hydrated?
teeth
Yeah.
real quick? Let me like get a little
Wait,
swab.
so what was her move after that? Did she spit it right back? And
Oh,
there was
I
a
mean,
spit
she
war?
goes, fuck.
Spit
I mean,
volleyball.
these are like some of the craziest
Spitball.
girls in the business. Like, no one gives a fuck. Like, world. Like, not like that was the first thing that's ever happened that like kind of made me gag. You know, like, and it was just to hit me at the right moment. So
Yeah.
everyone was cool with it.
I gotta say, it's not surprising to hear that cigarette spit
Is
is a little gross.
fire?
Right,
You know?
right.
Yeah. I could see that.
Well, I think
If you-
everyone's
'cause
like, you're
cigarette spit-
spitting a lot too,
Well,
so
to
you
give-
kind of run out. And then,
I have to imagine.
Yes, that's what I was thinking.
I have to imagine with a cigarette spit, you have to kind of really.
You have to really dig deep for the 6 bit.
Yeah.
Dude,
That's
oh my
not
God,
ready.
do not make the noise. I will throw
Yeah.
up right now. That's actually my biggest like turn off. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I don't give a fuck if you need to do a hockaloo. You could tell me that. But the hearing, the sound of it.
them hawking it up.
Yeah, it's not like a choice. Like, intellectually, I don't give a shit. But like, I just hear auditorily.
You're just sensitive to that sound.
Intellectually. Yeah.
I just hear it and I'm just like, I'm gonna throw up.
Brainologically, I hate it.
Like if a guy like hawks a loogie all the time, I'm like, I could never.
All right, so piggybacking off of that was like the grossest thing a girl's done to you. What's the grossest thing a guy's done to you?
The grossest thing.
Like that brings up like an
Or what's an
Girl,
ick? No, okay, so what's a better question is what's an ick for girls? What's like your top couple icks?
We've talked about some of our.
Well, I want to know like
icks as
a
men.
sexual ick and like a social ick. You know what I mean?
Right. Oh, okay, so this is the thing though, is that there's not an ick.
It just depends on the person.
It depends on the person, 100%.
like
This
that's
is
a
like
fair
the most,
answer.
it's the most woman thing ever. Like, so one of my friends, I introduced her to one of my guy friends like a year ago. We're all going out. And he was like very into her, and he's like, okay, like, hey, can you give me like, I'm really into her. Like, what's the advice? Like, how do I like not turn her off? And I'm like, okay, I've known this girl for years. I know her so deeply. I'm like, I got you. Because I think he's a great guy. And I'm like, I would love this to be a thing. So I'm like, okay, listen, these are the things she hates. Don't give her too much fucking attention. Like, also remember, like, you're more fucked up than she is. So, like, you know, whatever. I'm giving him this whole list. And I'm like, just don't come on to her too hard. Next fucking second, I see him all over her, and I'm like going, oh my fucking God. He literally didn't listen to one thing I fucking said. And then she's like, oh my God, I'm like in love with him. And I'm like, oh my God. So I think the point is that, and I'd seen like hot ass dudes. Like, I'd be like, oh my God, that guy's so hot. And she'd be like, yeah, I'm not into him because he did this one thing. But when the right guy did it, it didn't fucking matter.
Yeah.
So
it's all about feeling out the vibe.
It's more of a case-by-case basis.
Yeah.
Well, you know, women are very like mental and are like what turns us on, what like gets us into sex. Like, it's such a mental game. So that's why you could be someone they're very into, and you could say one thing like "mommy," or
Very specific reference.
You could say "mommy."
But it's not that you did anything wrong. It's like that might just trigger something in their brain that says like, "Ew,
Nope,
gross,"
I'm over
right?
it. Yeah.
Right.
I'll say one thing I've learned from this entire experience is I need to tone back the mommy.
I know you said it was working for you though, so I don't want to like. I don't want to
Well,
like.
no. Okay, so here I want to explain a little bit.
Okay.
Okay, if I can.
We'll give you an opportunity to redeem yourself.
My point of doing that is almost nothing is off the table as far as making jokes and making fun of stuff. So
That's just your vibe.
So if I say that and you're instantly out as far as like joking about
Then
it,
you don't want it anyway.
then it's like, okay, it's not going to work. Like we're not going to be a good mesh.
gonna get
If I'm going to say something ridiculous, like saying mommy to, especially when I say it, like when I message it to a girl who's younger than me and they're like, oh, what the fuck are you talking about? I'm like, okay,
obviously
you don't
a
get
joke,
it. It's
motherfucker.
fine. It's fine.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's like my bar setter as
yeah,
far
you gauge
as
it. No, I think that's very fair. I mean, I'm a big like. I think you should always just like be yourself and like do
Yeah.
what everything is right, because at the end of the day, people are gonna like you or they're not gonna like you.
Well, I mean, also it's
You know,
not,
like-
it's not a
And most of
sexual
them
thing
go as-
for me.
Right.
Go as
It's
far
not
as you can imagine.
in the bedroom. I'm not like,
right.
you know,
Screaming mommy.
I'm
I know.
not being like,
I
mommy,
feel
tuck
bad
me
now that
in,
I was
you know.
super harsh with the mommy thing. But I get like now that I understand that it was
No,
based off
please be
you,
more
you're being
harsh.
funny.
Yeah.
But I was just thinking of a guy being like, "Mommy, like fuck me," and I was like, "Ew!" Like I'm so grossed out. But like now that I understand, like I want to
Have I
raise
been a
the
good
rating.
boy, mommy? So I blew too high of a BAC.
You having some water?
I need to fucking
You
water
need
down.
a little bit of.
We have a
Michelob.
whole water
You blew
machine
too
in
low?
there.
it's right
BAC, or
here.
too
We're
high?
good.
It's right here.
Oh, that's good stuff.
Well, you guys haven't tried pool water, right? Our
that?
concoction of drink. Because you guys
we
didn't
make
come to
one?
Spencer's birthday party.
Elaborate.
Should we make one?
Oh, we need Raydell to make it, and it's like a whole fucking process.
Run
Get him out here.
It looks like jungle juice, like that
Oh,
you'd
they're
like
the
drink
kings
in
of the jungle
college,
juice.
but it's formulated specifically for 30-year-old bodies to be hydrated and still binge drink. Yeah, I don't know. We invented it like, I don't know, maybe about a year ago or so. And every time people come to our house, I have to go,
What?
hey, I know that thing looks like horrifying, but I promise you that it's like the best thing you'll drink all day.
Can you give us some sort of insight as to what's in that?
Yeah, let's break
I can
it down.
give you, so the boys won't give me, you know.
You don't have the full
It's
recipe.
proprietary. Yeah, no, they're.
secret recipe.
Oh yeah, it's secret. Yeah, I know they're trying to make it. No, but it does have electrolytes.
water in
It's
it?
got spirulina, which
And
is
a
what gives
dash
it the
of
blue
water.
color. It's vodka. It's like basically a vodka soda, but like more watered down with some cucumber, some mint, some spirulina, a lot of electrolytes, hydration products. So you know, like when you're at a party and you just want to keep drinking, you want to have always a cup in your hand, and you're thirsty
Yeah.
because you're at a pool party, right? And you want to keep drinking. But that's how you get fucked up. But this is basically formulated so you could just like be drinking this all day and you will get fucked up. It's not that it won't fuck you up, but it's not like taking a shot of tequila where like 3 minutes later you're like, you know?
Big
Yeah.
regrets.
Yeah. No, next time we have a house party, you guys got to come.
I know. I'm about
You'll
to
try
the
it?
last one. Fuck.
Yeah, why
We were in the pool at 10 a.m. the next day. And it was funny because you guys were like, oh, we like realized we're going to be like,
Oh, because it was
Raging
fucking
all night?
Mother's Day the next day. That's why.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah.
Like the night before.
oh, I didn't even call my mom. I feel terrible.
Oh no.
Was yesterday Father's Day too?
No, it's next.
No,
week.
it's next
Fucking
Sunday.
God, I was like, I can't
You
miss
almost gave me
both.
a
Next
fucking
Sunday.
aneurysm. I was like, oh my
Well,
god.
there was a
'Cause I live
commercial
5
on
minutes away
Hulu,
from
and it was
my
like
parents.
Happy Father's Day, and I was like, oh,
Oh no.
Yeah.
thank God. Yeah.
What do I get my dad, dude?
A new son.
A passport to fucking Tijuana.
Yeah, that's
We'll get into Morgan's dad another time.
No, we
Yeah,
can talk
yeah.
about
Wait,
my
no,
dad.
I really want to. I want to get into that now.
Yeah, we
Get
can
into your dad.
my
Get into your
So
dad.
Yeah.
what story do we want? Do we want why
I could
he's
tell-
banned
Yeah,
from
let's hear
Mexico?
about why he's not allowed in the country of
Is
Mexico.
he's not banned from Mexico.
Yes,
he's
he
still in
is.
Mexico, right?
There's a warrant
No,
out for
he's
the rest of Mexico.
banned. My dad is banned from Mexico.
Okay. I think the only way to properly do your dad justice is to kind of start from
the beginning.
not
From
the full
we can
beginning.
start from the beginning.
Well,
As
your
a child,
beginning.
my father was
Your
I
beginning.
can
warm.
start from my beginning.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, no, like the rebirth.
The rebirth. Okay, we could start from the rebirth. So my parents got divorced when I was like 2 years old, and my dad wasn't really involved at all. And apparently, in his head, he didn't really think that he wasn't being a good dad.
I know he was a great dad.
He was killing it.
He was a great dad. He
man.
never talked to you.
So he got re-involved in my life when I was like 24, like 2 years ago. And we had to have the conversation that was like, hey, you weren't a good dad.
Like a television show.
So
Yes.
how did he try and rebond with you, Morg?
So he comes in like a bowling ball.
Like imagine a bowling ball, but it was like the size of a
Yeah.
home.
He was like, oh, I didn't know you think that way. So he comes and stays at my house for about a month and a half and just decides to go balls to the wall every night. So we end up going to Mexico a couple times. And one of the times he gets arrested on the way in for having a firearm on him,
Because guns are illegal in Mexico.
which is the most illegal thing that you could have in Mexico. So he goes to Mexican jail and he calls me with a translator from Mexican jail. And I have to come down there and bail him out of Mexican jail.
Well, hold on. You're skipping a couple steps here.
No, we're getting to the meat.
What steps?
Well, I
do you-
know that's a meat.
It's a meat and potatoes.
Can you talk about how well you guys bonded together?
Yeah, wait.
Please.
Oh no! Don't get me wrong. Me and my
So you had
dad
a good father-son trip.
felt like I had a real dad
Right.
for sure.
For like a 6-week period.
What father-son bonding trip doesn't involve a few prostitutes?
Yeah, exactly.
If you haven't fucked in a bed,
And here's the
next to your
deal:
dad.
if it's your real dad and you really want to bond, you share the same one.
Yeah,
We're getting deep.
yeah. So honestly, before we went to
It's the only way you come back from a 24-year hiatus.
I can't relate to that guy.
before we went to Mexico,
You're
we-
like, my dad was around. He loved me. I don't know.
Also,
a-
just never sharing the prostitutes thing. Just
yeah,
kidding.
it's a crazy dynamic. But before that, we did go to Vegas, and he ended up throwing up for like 16 hours straight, which I've never seen happen before. But
That's a special amount of time.
I can relate.
it was honestly very impressive.
Get him some Zofran.
Yeah. But so after that, we
Quick
went to
tip.
Mexico.
Yeah, that's true.
quick, Carter Cruise, quick tip.
Get some
Zofran up.
Seriously,
If you throw up when you're hungover frequently.
That's what they give to people on like
But
chemo and shit.
beforehand, so this was his plan. His whole plan was to go to the Philippines because the guy-girl dynamic is like they pretty much will do whatever you want because like
Because they're also guys.
yes, also that.
Yeah, when you're
Because-
talking about the dynamic, it's
It's guy.
more so there is no dynamic.
Yeah. So he follows a bunch of like middle to late age older men that are on YouTube that live in the Philippines because they just go there to meet like young Filipino girls, which is the fucking weirdest thing I've ever heard of in my entire life.
Well, because they're mostly underage too. So
Yeah.
extremely weird.
So like there's like a couple of like
Sorry for that.
It's a dark place.
Probably good that was not.
It's true though. It's fucking true.
No, it's actually true. Like, that's the only reason people go to see sex workers.
John's crying. John's crying.
Oh my god. Okay.
So there's like a handful of middle-aged gentlemen that have YouTube accounts that live in fucking the Philippines, and it is just the most horrifying
They're just
shit.
admitting
I think
on
it's
camera.
more than a handful.
Oh no, it's
Talking about a large
Dude, my neighbor's wife was like 30 years younger than him, but I didn't meet him until he was like 70
Yeah.
and she was like 40. And I'm like, wait, so he married her when he was in the military and he was in his 20s. So this girl was like 12 years old when they met.
No, that would make her 2 years old if he was 12 years old.
Oh my God.
okay.
And now he's like on the brink. He's on the brink of death, and she's like 55. She's like, I got my whole life ahead of me.
Yeah, well, she inherits his whole
She inherits
fortune.
all the money.
Oh, she put
Yeah.
in the work.
Honestly, that is a
Put in the
long
fucking
game, though.
groundwork.
It is the long game.
That's not a gold digger.
better than living
That
in
is a
a- like a hut.
respectable ass woman.
I will say there needs to be a term for women who they are gold digger, like they're in it for the money, but they put in the years. They put in the
Yeah, they
like,
put in the years.
If you put in 25, 35 of like
Whole
some
years.
weird, socially unacceptable comments that you just have to
Like
laugh through.
saggy balls in your face every night.
Oh,
or it
yeah,
might just be that they're from the Philippines and they didn't have
and
many
they
other
have a better
options.
option. Yeah.
It's a good point.
But if we're
It's hard to
talking
put
about,
myself there.
American women, we're talking like American.
They just
like,
got sad really quick. You're like, these women are they're dedicated.
I've
No,
seen,
they're
I've seen
desperate.
90 Day Fiance with Big Ed, and I would get out of there too for that guy.
The 90
you made it out
Day
like they're the
Fiance is
hardest working
fantastic.
people on the planet. All right. Well, I think that was episode 16.
That was it.
Carter, thank you so much. That was an
This is
absolute
only 16.
hoot.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're just getting started. But yeah, thanks for having us in your home. Thanks for
Yeah.
coming on the show. That was a fucking blast.
That was good.